This morning's meditation will do the same preliminaries that I gave on the first day's meditation, Friday morning's meditation. And then the meditation itself will be on mantra. I begin. Om Ardram Jwalati Jyotiraham Jyotir Jwalati Brahmahamasmi Yohamasmi Brahmahamasmi Ahamasmi Brahmahamasmi Ahamevaham Mam Juhomi Swaha. Melting into the light, I am the light that shines. The light shines, the light which is Brahman. That which I am is nothing but Brahman. I exist and I exist as Brahman. I myself offer myself into the infinite light which is myself. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Listen to each instruction completely, and after the instruction is completed, then try to practice the best that you can. And to begin, let us take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in deeply, exhale completely, hold the lungs empty for a moment or two. Begin again doing that 3 times in order to calm the body and the mind. 3 deep breaths. And now let us chant together aloud several times the syllable, the mantra, Ah. Thinking that with Ah, I'm emptying myself of all thoughts, emptying myself of the sleep and sleepiness from the night, emptying myself of all negativity, leaving myself a clean vessel. And now let us use the breath as a vehicle for sending out thoughts of love and goodwill to all beings. Let us think as we breathe in that we are filling ourselves with the power of goodwill. And we can think the word goodwill to ourselves silently as we breathe in to focus the feeling. But it's the feeling of goodwill we want to emphasize. And whether you think of goodwill or whether you think of universal love, it doesn't matter. It's basically, we'll think of them as the same thing. So breathe in goodwill, breathe in love, and breathe out that goodwill in all directions towards all beings everywhere, with words such as, may all beings everywhere realize what is good. The purpose of this exercise is to establish a deep sense of harmony with all of existence, so that there's no break in our relationship with all beings. We recognize our oneness with all beings. So again, breathe in goodwill, breathe in love, breathe out, may all beings everywhere realize what is good, and continue in that way. As you breathe, think that you are breathing in not just through your nostrils, but through every pore of your skin, like a sponge of respiration. Breathe in through every pore of your skin, filling every cell of your body with the light of unselfish love, disinterested love. And breathe that love out towards all beings. May all beings everywhere realize what is good. If you find it useful, you can visualize a vast sea of humanity spread out before you, and other beings as well, spread out before and around you as you send out thoughts of goodwill to all. Breathe in goodwill, breathe out, may all beings everywhere realize what is good. In this vast sea of humanity and other beings that you visualize spread around you, there are some faces that are known and some faces that are unknown. In front of the faces that are known, you can stop for a moment and offer a brief prayer for their well-being, and then continue to send out thoughts of goodwill to all beings without restriction. Sending out love and goodwill to all beings doesn't mean becoming passive or weak. It doesn't mean being a doormat to the world. Only a person with an inner sense of integrity, dignity, inviolability can really send out thoughts of love towards all beings. There's nothing passive about it. Breathe in goodwill, breathe out, may all beings everywhere realize what is good. And now let us turn our attention to the physical body in order to bring it into a deeper state of harmony, so that it serves as an instrument of meditation rather than an obstacle, as so often it is. Let us think of each part of the body, starting from the toes and working up part by part to the top of the head, picturing each part in the mind's eye as pure, perfect, and full of light, no matter what its actual condition might be. Picture it as pure, perfect, full of light. In that way, go from the toes up to the top of the head, and then picture the whole body at once as pure, perfect, full of light, as a God-given instrument for the realization of truth in this very life. Each part of the body, from the toes up to the top of the head, pure, perfect, and full of light. After coming to the top of the head, briefly scan over the body once again, looking for any remaining points of tension, such as tightness in a muscle or a joint. Send the light of your awareness to any such point of tension, bathe it in the light of your awareness, and feel that it is relaxing and coming into harmony with the rest of the body. Then return to picturing the whole body at once. If you find any tension anywhere, it helps sometimes to gently and subtly move it just a little bit to relax it. The whole body at once, as pure, perfect, full of light. We have just visualized the body as pure, perfect, full of light. But now we don't want to continue the visualization. We want to experience the body directly, as I will explain. Try to feel the body as one harmonious field or system of energy. As I'll explain, that's not an exercise of the imagination, it's a direct experience. Try to feel the body as one harmonious field or system of energy. That is, when your eyes are closed and you're not looking at the body, you feel the body. You have the sensation of the body's presence, whereby you can directly feel parts of the body which you can never see directly with the eye, such as the crown of your head or the small of your back, but you can feel them directly. The whole body you can feel directly. That almost tingling sensation of the body's presence is the direct experience of the body as a field or system of energy, the energy of sensation. But normally we superimpose on that pure sensation the idea of the body's solidity, its heaviness, its materiality. Try to feel the body simply as a system or a field of energy, a field of sensation, without superimposing those other ideas. Nothing but a field of energy. Wherever you feel any points of contact, such as your feet on the floor, your seat on the chair, your hands on your lap, try to feel such points of contact as simply concentrations of sensation. That is, don't think that your solid feet are resting on the solid floor. Feel just nothing but sensation. A little concentrated here, a little less there, but nothing but sensation. And that way you can feel yourself to be weightless and floating. Weightless and floating. Floating where? Notice how you can feel the space all around the body, below the body, above the body, and all around. You can feel the space. How is that possible? It's possible because the body does not contain nor limit your consciousness. The image, the sensation of the body floats within your consciousness. It's a fact of experience. You can feel it now. The field of sensation, which is the body, is floating within your awareness. And now, when the perception of the body has been made harmonious and subtle, we're ready to start the main meditation. Meditation on mantra. If you have received a mantra in initiation, then use that in the instructions I'm about to give. And if you have a mantra not received in initiation, but one which you can use that also. And if you don't use a mantra, you don't have a mantra and don't use one, then you can use Om. First, spend a few moments again feeling the body as a field of sensation, which means a field of vibration, that tingling feeling of the body's presence. Come back to that for a few moments. The body as vibration. as a field of energy. And now notice all sounds, whether they're external or internal. All sounds are vibration as well. Just a vibration, all sounds. The sensation of the body is vibration. Sounds are vibration. And feel your thoughts to be vibrations also, waves in the lake of the mind, because that's what they are. Thoughts also are vibrations within the lake of the mind. Try to feel that, thoughts as vibrations. The body, sounds, thoughts. Think of the external objects around you. Even with your eyes closed, you can be aware of the fact that there are objects all around you, people and other things like chairs, pillars, etc. Those also you perceive through light. And light also is vibration. And even the material particles are vibration, subatomic particles. Your body, sounds and noises, thoughts, even physical objects, all are vibration. Now begin to recite your mantra mentally, thinking of it as a sound that rises rhythmically from the depths of your spiritual heart in the lower center of your chest. That the mantra rises from there rhythmically, at your own rhythm, at your own pace, but rising rhythmically from the depths of your spiritual heart, the center of your being, like a sacred fountain of sound. It rises like a sacred fountain of sound, breaks over your head as a fountain, and bathes your entire being, mental and physical, in its sacred vibration. A sacred fountain of sound rising from the depths of your heart rhythmically, breaking over the top of the head and bathing your entire being in its sacred vibration, purifying your body and mind. Remember, all is vibration. But the vibration of the mantra is a sacred vibration, a transformative vibration. It rises from the depths of your heart as a sacred fountain of sound. Any sounds that you hear, think of them as simply vibrations, and the superior vibration of the mantra is dissolving them in its vibration. Any sensations in your body are dissolving into the vibration of the mantra. Thoughts that arise in the mind are simply vibrations. They also dissolve into the mantra. Don't fight with your thoughts. Don't fight with external sounds. Don't fight with sensations. Just let them blend into the vibration of the mantra. And if your mind is too restless, just repeat the mantra mentally louder within your mind. Not violently or aggressively, just louder to drown out the thoughts. In the early 20th century, there was a sage who lived in the Himalayas who used to teach his disciples to repeat the name of Ram as a mantra, Ram, Ram, Ram. And he would tell them to identify with the mantra, to become the mantra. Once one of his disciples asked, how far could that process go? And the guru said to the disciple, put your ear against my arm. And there the disciple heard the very body of the sage repeating Ram, Ram, Ram. The whole body was vibrating with the sound of the mantra. That's a useful image to think. We don't have to take it literally, though it could have been literal, but we don't have to take it literally, but it's a good image to hold in the mind as you repeat your mantra. The mantra is the divine being itself. We may not have realized it, but we can have that faith because great sages have realized it. So think of the mantra as the divine being itself, spiritualizing your whole entire being in its sacred vibration. Now I'll bring the meditation to a close. I'll recite the Gayatri Mantra 3 times. If you know it, you can recite it with me. First I'll give an English translation, a free translation, and then the mantra 3 times. May we meditate on the glory of that luminous being who has projected the 3 worlds. May that illuminate our hearts. Om. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om. Bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo nah prachodayat. We meditate on the glorious splendor of that infinite being who has created, who has projected the three worlds. May that illuminate our hearts. Om. If you want, you can remain with your eyes closed, or you can open them as you like and when you are ready. But I will be leaving shortly, so I'm going to give a brief closing comment. As I said in my first talk here on Thursday night, I guess it was, the infinite Brahman, beyond subject and object, beyond all distinctions, without any differentiation whatsoever. It divides into the subject and the object, into the I and the thou. In the path of knowledge, one seeks to know the subject. Who am I? In devotion, you seek to know the divine object. Who art thou? But in reality, there's no subject and object. So it doesn't matter which one you choose. It does matter. It matters as far as which one is more natural and easy to you, to seek God or to seek the self. There is one difference, however, in the psychology. Because in the path of knowledge, in seeking the subject, you often bypass the very idea of God. You don't have to. Shankaracharya didn't. Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda didn't. Even Ramana Maharshi didn't. But some do. You can bypass the very idea of God, thinking of that as part of the mind's creation. But for the devotee, for one who seeks God, the divine thou, Brahman is the depths of God. It's not that the devotee who realizes the highest truth, the highest non-dual truth through love for God, the embodiment of this non-dual truth. It's not that the devotee comes to Brahman and then gives up God and thinks, well, God was useful as long as I needed God, but it's just a mental creation. It's part of the objective world that I have to get rid of. No, for the devotee, as you see over and over in practically every paragraph of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, for the devotee, Brahman, the non-dual reality, is simply the depths of God. That which you find when you enter into the very being of God. So it's not that God is unreal. Again, on the path of knowledge, oftentimes God is presented as part of the unreality of Maya. God comes into the picture when Maya is associated with Brahman, and we want Brahman. We want the truth. We want the real truth, not an imaginary truth, a mentally created truth. But God isn't an imaginary truth. God isn't an imagined truth. God isn't a mentally created truth. God is the truth. And Brahman is simply the depths of the very being of God. So don't be intimidated by philosophy. Choose that which is natural to you. If it's the path of knowledge, well and good. It's a beautiful path. If it's the path of devotion, that also is true. There are many, many saints in India, as well as among the Christian mystics and the Sufi mystics, who attain to non-duality through the love of God. And when they returned to perception of the world from the state of non-duality after realization, the highest realization, God was still real to them. They knew the absolute truth, but they knew that that absolute truth is God, the same being. It's not that there are two divine realities. There are two phases of the same reality. It's not that Saguna Brahman is one thing and Nirguna Brahman is the real thing. That may be a useful way to think in the path of non-dual knowledge, but that's not the experience of the devotees who have had the highest experience, the non-dual experience, melting into Brahman. They melt into the very heart of God. They melt into God. God doesn't melt. They melt into God. So choose your path according to that which is most natural to you. If God is not a problem for you, then the path of devotion is a wonderful path. If intellectually God has become a problem for you, then follow another path until God is no longer a problem. God isn't a problem for God's sake. God is only a problem to us because our minds and thinking have made it a problem or made that reality a problem. So all of the four yogas will lead us to realization, any of the four yogas or a combination of them. So take that which, again, is natural. And you may find as you progress that your path begins to go in a different direction from where you started. That's okay. Because as you progress, your deeper nature begins to manifest. It begins to express itself. And then you begin to find your real path. So don't let philosophy get in the way. Let philosophy be a guide if you want to follow the path of philosophy, but don't let it be an obstacle. And that's all I have to say for now. So let me end by thanking Swami Atmarupananda for conceiving and organizing a wonderful program. Let me thank the organizers who have, or the volunteers who have done such a wonderful job making our stay so pleasant and so easy. There was always someone there ready to help when we needed help. And so our thanks to the team of organizers and volunteers. And thanks to the other speakers who it was a delight to be here with. So I will go get unplugged and then go to my room to finish packing, and then I'll be leaving shortly. So from here, I offer my salutations to all of you. There's not time to greet each one of you individually. So please don't line up trying to stop my progress. Once I'm packed and come out, if you see me, that's fine, because then if I need to, I can just jump in the car. But right now, I salute you all and wish you all the best. It was a great joy to share time with you.